welcome back to Lock and Reload. So, I picked up another rifle. This is an Ovidio Spanish M1916. A little bit about the rifle. This is what the Spanish military used. It was based off the Mauser action. It was, I believe it was created around 1916. So this is a very old rifle. This is a carbine, not the full length. These were originally designed and chambered in 7mm. Well, this one was rechambered into 7.62 by 51. This one literally states 308 Win. So there are some of them out there that got some people afraid, oh, it's 7.62 51, can't shoot 308. In some aspects that is true. This one states 308. This one shoots 308s just fine. Again, this one is Mauser action. Yes, and it is unloaded. This is not a very pretty rifle. To me, it's a very pretty rifle. It's old. It has history, and so far, I absolutely love it. So I just wanted to show a little video on it. I have shot in this one. I did go ahead and re-crown the barrel on it. If you can honestly see that. I don't know if you can. Actually, Weaponeer re-crowned it for me because I didn't have the tools, nor have I ever re-crowned anything before. So he helped me out with that. And again, thanks Weaponeer. Hopefully we'll take it out at 25 and 30 yards and figure out where the hell it's hitting this time. I didn't have the greatest crown on it, so we went ahead and he went ahead and put a re-crown on it. I picked this gun up, by the way, for $100 bucks. I wasn't expecting much. Actually, there was there is one thing that I was expecting that it didn't get. The safety on here does not work. Fortunately for me, it was stuck on the off position, so I can go ahead and still shoot it. This rifle has one of the best military triggers I've ever seen. It's a very smooth trigger pull. I absolutely love this. Out of all the surplus rifles that I've shot in my life, like my 9130, it's got a nasty trigger. This one's got probably one of the smoothest triggers I've ever seen. This rifle, I'm not a huge fan of Mauser sights to begin with. Specifically, the front sight is so blocky and so huge. And for me, accuracy may vary. The one thing I like about Mausers over a lot of different action is the simplicity. Mauser action, in my eyes, your mileage may vary, in my eyes, is a very rock solid, one of the best built bolt action bolt assemblies in my eyes that has ever been produced. Because one, you have that external extractor. I mean, with this one's got the external extractor, if you can see that. So it's not internal or, set in. And I personally think it's probably one of the best extractors on the market. There's a couple other rifles that run it as well too, like the U.S. Army's 1903, whether it be a 1, 2, 3, or 4. A lot of Ruger rifles, even to this day, run the Mauser action. There are a lot of Winchester rifles that run the Mauser action. Just to give you an idea on how robust that action is. This rifle will run with very little lubrication. And these things were generally, especially when they were chambered in 8mm and 7mm, very, very accurate rifle. This one's getting back to being very accurate. Just a couple other tweaks, and if I can't get it as accurate as I like, I'm going to go ahead and change out barrels. I stated it does have a Mauser action. The receiver's in really good condition. The sights are, the rear sight is probably one of the most unique thing on the gun, because it not only has a sight ladder up here like so, it does, and all the measurements, it does have the coinciding measurements right on the actual rear sight base itself. And your typical side sling mount. You have your takedown band, so you can go ahead and take that off. And then on the flip side, on the rear stock here, that one's got the another sling point. Ugly gun, but it's very pretty to me. This thing's probably got a lot of history. I don't know if I'm gonna, redo the bluing on it. I haven't decided yet. I know for sure. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna keep the stock the way it is, just because I'm not a history buff by any means, but I love collecting pieces of history, just as Exhibit A right there. But again, this is my Ovidio, or however the hell you pronounce it, Spanish M1916 Mauser. So again, this isn't really a review because I have a hard time reviewing surplus firearms, because I just do. So hopefully you found this entertaining, and I'll go ahead and try to get some shooting footage of me going ahead and shooting it. Oh yeah, by the way, this one still has the bayonet lug on it. I did not get the cleaning rod, but what do you expect? I paid $100 for it. So I thought it was a pretty good buy. And even if it didn't function, it would have been a great wall hanger. So I still am on the market to go ahead and find an 8mm Mauser, specifically a German Mauser like a K98, or even a Yugo, something that's chambered in 8mm Mauser. Because if you know anything, 8mm is really cheap as far as price. I'm buying it. So again, if you have any questions, concerns, comments, leave them at the bottom. Or you just want to say, hey, what's going on? You can do that too. At any rate, this is my Ovidio Spanish M1916 Mauser chambered in .308. This is Lock and Reload. Catch you later.